What's up YouTube? In this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Bumper Jumper Tactical, which is the button layout I've been playing for the past 6 years. And I was also going to give you some tips and tricks if you play it yourself already, or if you're looking to maybe give it a try, because I think it's really worth it. Now, first, I'm just going to go over the pros, and then I'll give you a con or a couple cons, and then kind of how to turn those cons into pros, essentially. So basically, the pros to Bumper Jumper Tactical, if you're playing with like a default controller, so you don't need paddles or anything like that. You really don't even have to play claw, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. But basically, as you can see with my controller layout, I can just move around, jump, aim, and shoot however I need without ever having to lift my finger off the thumbsticks because I don't have to press, circle to slide or X to jump, which is usually the default, of course. So that's really the main benefit of playing Bumper Jumper Tactical. And for me, I jump with L1. If you do play flipped where you aim with L1 and shoot with R1, of course, it would just be backwards and you would jump with L2. But for me, my L2 trigger is my ADS, but you can always just flip that to fit your personal preference, and it should be pretty much the same thing. So that is really like the main kind of pro of Bumper Jumper Tactical, is having that fluidity of movement and being able to press or do all those movements of jumping and sliding and stuff without or while being able to still aim and shoot. Now, when it comes to the cons, the first one I would say that's kind of a con is maybe for some people it would be a little bit awkward to learn, just because it is a little weird using L1 or L2 to jump at first. But for me, I got used to it pretty quickly, just jumping around in a private match back in Black Ops 6 whenever I first picked it up. And I just kept practicing jumping around, playing on it, shooting bots, whatever. And then I started playing games, and I got used to it pretty quickly within a matter of days or a week. I would say I got pretty darn comfortable and never turned back. But that would be one kind of con for certain people. But I'd say for majority of people, you should be able to learn it no problem. The other con is going to be your melee and tactical buttons in particular. Might be a little bit more difficult. For instance, in this game, let me just go ahead and pull out the knife. But if you need a melee, or let's just say you have your gun out and someone's coming through this door and you need a melee, if you do use your thumb still, you do have to take your thumb. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. If you do use your thumb to press the melee button, this means you only have your left thumb for your left stick, so you can only move like in this way, and you can't turn. If I do have my thumb on my circle button, which I do right now, of course, I can only move in this direction, so that could limit you. Same thing with the stun, which I actually, I didn't even need that. I had a assault pack. Anyways, with the same thing with the stun. So if I press X with my thumb and I hold it down, now I can only move like this. If I need to turn quickly to throw this stun more accurately, I really just can't, because of course my right thumb is not on the thumbstick, it's on the X. So there is a solution to that, and that's going to circle us back around to talking about claw grip. I'm going to give you some tips on how to play it. I don't play full-time claw grip. I play what I consider, I pretty much named myself hybrid claw. And this is basically a way that, like right now, I'm playing normally. I'm holding my controller like very normally, no claw grip. And I play Bumper Jumper Tactical, of course. But whenever I'm switching weapons like this, I'm using my index finger on triangle. Whenever I reload, I press that with my index finger. Also, if I grab another tactical here, I'm now pressing X with my index finger, and this allows me to look around however I want, and I have full freedom just like I do with aiming and shooting. And then same thing with the melee. If I press circle with my index finger, now as you can see, I'm moving both thumbsticks and I have full control over whatever I'm doing. Now, the secret to claw grip is, of course, if you don't know what claw grip is, basically I'm just using my index finger, my right index finger, to press triangle, square, X, and circle. Now, the trick to this that I learned, especially if you want to minimize or have no pain, I personally don't have any pain, but I'm sure people are going to have different hands, different bone structures, whatever. So maybe you might not be able to play claw, but the big tip with claw, I would say, is you're just using the side of your finger, of your index finger. You're not trying to like press down on the button. You're just trying to pretty much push down on it just a little bit with the side of your finger. So if you can just practice that, it's really not too bad, because I mean, these buttons, you don't have to put a lot of pressure. So once you get used to it, it really feels pretty natural in my opinion. If you are going to attempt to learn how to play claw or hybrid claw with Bumper Jumper Tactical or in general, I would recommend you just start by maybe using your weapon button, which is circle, Just get used to pressing that one, or the switch weapon button, actually, triangle or Y if you're on Xbox, is going to be essentially the easiest to hit with your index finger because they're going to be the closest to it. At least if you're like me and you have it resting on R1 like I do here. But they're going to be the closest and easiest to hit. And then once you get comfortable switching weapons with your index finger, you can move on to using the melee maybe, and then eventually, start to reload all the way over there at square, and then eventually even use your tactical ability by pressing X. That's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I play Bumper Jumper Tactical and some tips and tricks I've learned along the way when it comes to playing more of a hybrid claw style, as I refer to it as. So you can do this, like I said, with a default controller, and it's going to definitely greatly improve your gameplay if you are somebody that's been playing default and you're looking to take that next step in having good movement and mechanics and things like that. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.